Greetings, YouTubey people. Not as big a one this time. I'm not doing these things all that often. I'm doing them when I feel like I've got something to say. Seems like the most sensible thing to do, really. Really, what I wanted to talk about this time is ego and confidence. Those two things being very, very, very different things in the world, but particularly in the music industry. It's a bizarre place for this kind of thing. So there is nothing wrong with being a confident person, with being a confident human being in your abilities. That's fine. Don't have a problem with that. It's okay to, feel in yourself that you can go, yeah, I can do that. I know I'm good for this. I've got the skill set. I've got the ability to be able to pull this thing off or whatever. That's cool. And being able to say that, it sounds, However, there is a difference between that and going around and acting like you are a rock star and treating people like they are beneath you or that you are better than them. That is nonsense. Absolute nonsense, right? And you get it very regularly. You get it with guitar players a lot. Singers and guitar players tend to be the worst for it, to be fair. Sometimes you get it with drummers, but drummers tends to be the ones that treat it like it's an athletics competition. Bass players most of the time are sound. I've met a couple of bass players that are, you know, have their heads inserted somewhere fairly dark and brown, but other than that, they tend to be the most chilled of individuals generally. But guitar players, I'm obviously here to mostly talk about guitar players because that's what I am. So guitar players have this thing, and it is a very, very bizarre concept in my head that they treat the world and stages as if we are living in the Wild West and they are a gunslinger, and it's nonsense behaviour. You know, playing this instrument is not supposed to be a competition. It's not what it's about. No way, shape or form is it about that. You are, you're not in competition with anybody. You shouldn't be. Friendly competition of kind of like if you and some mates are kind of like, all right, I'll learn something you want me to, and you learn something I want you to, and see who does it quicker, or something like that. Whatever, just as a friendly bit of banter or whatever. I hate that word, but beyond that, it's just nonsense to have an attitude and an ego and look down on other people. So, if it's somebody's first time getting up and playing on stage, be it at a jam night or whatever, do not do this nonsense. You can watch them, you can listen to them, because they will be bricking it when it is their first time. If it's your 4,000th time and they're getting up for the first time, they're going to be absolutely babbing themselves. We've all been there. And sometimes I do think we forget where we have come from, and that we were people doing this for the first time at one point or another in our lives. I teach this instrument. This is my job. So I am not going to be walking around anywhere like I am, the king of the castle, because it is my job to educate. I want to make people want to learn this instrument, and I want it to be fun, and I want them to enjoy it. I do not want them thinking that they're going to be wandering into like a musical head-cutting situation every time they get on a stage. I will not, and have not, got up on a stage with a view to kind of gunning for anybody musically. That's not why I play guitar. Now, yeah, I've played with Scott Crowther, and we have a bit of a good back and forth kind of thing, where he'll play, I'll play, we'll play, I'll play, and it's like a call and response thing, and it's never there's never any kind of like, look what I can do kind of thing. It's not about that, and he understands that, and I understand that. I've got up with another player, and I'm not going to name him because it's just not really kind to badmouth the dude. So I'm not going to do that because, I don't want to be an ass. But I got up with a guy who is a very respected blues player, Doncaster-based blues player, quite a long time ago now. And for some reason, he just got up and just decided to try and just... And I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what the hell was happening, but it was just literally like he was just out to get me. And I found that really weird. Like he wanted to try and just prove some strange point that nobody was getting, a very avant-garde point. So the only time you will see anybody kind of get both barrels from me musically is if they are doing the musical equivalent of being on a stage at the side of me and poking me with a stick. And kind of going, I want you to see what I can do, and I want to try and make you look stupid. Then I'll musically come for you, and we'll see how that goes. But beyond that, I don't care if it's your first time on a stage or your 20,000th time on a stage. If you want to get up and play some stuff, let's get up and play some stuff. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy it. But I'm not going to be doing any kind of hierarchy of, podium placing guitar players and stuff like that. Like, I have a selection of guys that I think are the greatest in the world, and I put them all on the same kind of pedestal. And that's the way really it should be, because it's never just that this isn't like, it's a collective effort, because everybody influences everybody. As I've said before, the stuff you don't like is an influence to you. So your influences are endless. You don't just have like, here's my favourite guitar player or whatever. Like, you know, really you have so many, because everything that you do comes from so many different places. Now, and to leave you before I go and play some more guitar to close off this video, because I don't want this one to be really long, one of the best bits of advice I could ever give to anybody is to remember this: there is only one guitar player or musician, whatever, that you need to be worried about being better than, and that is the one that you were yesterday. Remember that. Thank you all. Wow.